My name is Barbara Ann Briggs, and I'm a certified teacher of Transcendental Meditation and also the author of 2 books, Pilgrimage on the Path of Love, a novel of visionary fiction which has been hailed as the perfect amalgamation of spiritual awakening and self-discovery. I'm also the author of The Contribution of Maharshi's Vedic Science to Complete Fulfillment in Life. I'm a poet and a freelance journalist with numerous articles published in many different parts of the world. In this podcast, The Essence of Life, we will begin to understand the meaning of what is actually the essence of life and where can we find it. The essence of life is hidden in the silent source of life itself. The subject of today's podcast is the art of manifestation. How do we manifest our desires? How do we bring fulfillment to our deepest longings and bring fulfillment to those aspects of our lives that we desire to enhance? First of all, we have to be clear and specific about what it is that we desire. Once we're clear about what we want, then we can take steps to move in that direction. Maharshi says, clear thinking and a happy and pure heart give rise to good planning, which nourishes any avenue of life and eliminates uncertainty. Just float in bliss, and nature will take care of everything else. End quote. Being happy does bring faster fulfillment to our desires. So that aspect of keeping our heart open and being happy and without having any shrinking of our hearts and no shrinking of our minds. Maharshi says we have to be fabulously open and joyful on the path to enlightenment. And this is also true on the path to fulfillment and on the path to success in our activity. Happiness brings more success to whatever we want in life. Back to that idea of having a specific desire. This is a beautiful quote by Maharshi, and I quote, "For success in action, it is necessary that the process of action be sustained, and for this, fixity of purpose should be held by the performer. If the mind wishes to conduct the action most effectively and arrive at the most desirable results, it is extremely necessary that the mind does not deviate from its purpose." End quote. The fixity of purpose is also important. And Maharshi says, we desire and let go. Trust the universe to take care of the details. And we must also make bliss the primary motivation for doing anything. Another very beautiful quote that I'd like to share with you from Maharshi. Keep your desire turning back within and be patient. Allow the fulfillment to come to you. Gently resist the temptation to chase your dreams out into the world. Pursue them in your heart until they disappear into the self and leave them there. It may take a little self-discipline. Be simple, be kind, stay rested. Attend to your own inner health and happiness. Happiness radiates like the fragrance from a flower and draws all good things toward you. Allow your love to nourish yourself as well as others. Do not strain after your needs of life. It is sufficient to be quietly alert and aware of them. In this way, life proceeds more naturally, effortlessly. Life is here to enjoy. End quote. There's also a very beautiful verse in the Bhagavad Gita in chapter 2, verse 47, and I quote, "You have control over action alone, never over its fruits. Live not for the fruits of action, nor attach yourself to inaction. End quote. And Maharshi says in his commentary, it is the anticipated fruit of an action that induces a man to act. It is desire for a result that makes him begin to act and enables him to persist in the process of action. The Lord wishes to show that the result of the action will be greater if the doer puts all his attention and energy into the action itself. If he does not allow his attention and energy to be distracted by thinking of results, the result will be according to the action. There's no doubt about that. So it means, and Maharishi goes on to say, it is to ensure the greater success of an action that the doer is asked not to concern himself with results during the course of the action. But this does not imply that he should be indifferent to results. If he becomes consciously indifferent to results, the process of action will certainly become weak, and this will also weaken the results. It would be absurd to infer from this verse that a man has no right to the fruits of his action. Only the technique for achieving the maximum result from an action is given here. The doer has every right to enjoy the fruits of his action. The Lord says that he has no control over the fruits because the fruits will be inevitably according to the action. Having fixed the objective, having begun to act, and having become intimately engrossed in the process of action, he should fulfill the action with such complete devotion and undivided attention that he is oblivious even to its fruits. Only in this way will he achieve the maximum results from what he does. The teaching of non-anticipation of the fruit of action has an even deeper cosmic significance in that it is supported by the very process of evolution. If a man is held by the fruit of action, then his sole concern is centered on the horizontal plane of life. Seeing nothing higher than the action and its fruit, he loses sight of the divine, which pervades the action and is the almighty power at its basis, leading to its ultimate fulfillment. He thus loses direct contact with the vertical plane of life on which the process of evolution is based. So this verse just gives us an idea that we have to have that one-pointedness in terms of our focus on the fulfillment of the action, but we don't let our attention be so caught up in the results of the action that we lose our ability to perform the action with maximum efficiency. So this is really the art of manifestation, is to have the desire and then let go and trust the universe to fulfill that desire. And we trust the universe to take care of the details. As long as we're living life more and more in harmony with natural law, we will find that more and more of our evolutionary desires are fulfilled spontaneously. All we have to do is take the dive to the vertical plane of life, experience pure consciousness regularly, and the laws of nature begin to support more and more of the fulfillment of our desires in our lives. A new podcast episode will be uploaded every few weeks. If you would like to learn more about my work, please come to my website, barbaraannbriggs.com. You're also invited to visit my YouTube channel, Living Wisdom, Barbara Briggs. It's been a great pleasure sharing these podcasts with you. And if you've enjoyed the podcasts, please consider making a monthly donation. This would be very greatly appreciated because I do have to pay every month to produce these podcasts. And it would be very, very beneficial if some donations could be made to continue these podcasts. Until we meet again, very, very best wishes to you.